Hello, everyone. My name is Pam Hart, and I'm writer-in-residence at the Katonah Museum of Art. And I'd like to share with you an activity, a poetry writing activity that you can do inspired by the incredible artwork of Bisa Butler. Her exhibition, our exhibition, Bisa Butler Portraits, is at the Katonah Museum of Art, which is unfortunately closed due to the coronavirus. But this activity will offer you a way to think about, look closely at two pieces, and you'll be able to also write a Pantoum Portrait Poem. The activity is open to anyone at any level of writing, so not to worry if you've never written a poem before or if you've written many poems before. I think you'll find this engaging no matter what. We're going to do a few things together. I'm going to share with you two of the portraits that are in the exhibition so that you can pick one or the other, or even both if you're that inclined. I'll talk a little bit about the Pantoum form itself. Then I'll go with you through the process of collecting words and ideas and some strategies that I use as a writer, as a poet. I'll share with you how the form itself works, the pattern of the form, and then a draft that I wrote, and I'll talk briefly about that so that you have something to kind of bounce off as you're creating yours. So let's look at the two portraits that you can choose from today. Of course, there are other incredible artworks that are part of this exhibition, and if you do want to know more about it and look at some of the other portraits, you can definitely visit our website. Also through social media on our Facebook pages, our Instagram accounts. We have slideshows and other um, images to share with you there. You might also think about following the artist Bisa Butler herself on Instagram. She shares often works in progress and is just an incredible person to follow on Instagram. So you might want to check that out as well. This is one of the pieces. This is Anaya with oranges. And then the other piece is titled The Safety Patrol. Both of them are filled with incredible details. These are fabric pieces. The fabrics themselves are bold and filled with color and have a whole kind of provenance themselves. Again, there's lots of information about that at our website. There's also a catalog. Let me quickly talk about the Pantoum form. The Pantoum originated in Malaysia in the 15th century. It was a short folk poem, and it was often made up of rhyming couplets, two rhyming couplets, so very short actually. A couplet is a two-line poem, and these poems were often sung or recited. Now, the form itself has been altered and adapted by poets from other parts of the world. And so it's come to the fact that if you were to look at contemporary pantoums, you probably would notice that they're not so short and that rhyme is not as important a factor. So we will be doing a longer version, and you'll also notice that I don't have any rhyme. If you're inclined to rhyme, that's fine, but not to feel that you're constricted by that. Now, the process of writing, about anything, inspired by anything, has sort of a flow to it. You're going to select one of the portraits that I've offered. Of course, you can do two poems, and that would be fantastic. You're going to spend some time looking closely and slowly. And if you have the option with your computer, you might even pause and zoom in even closer to notice some details. And then I use some questions to kind of help me collect my thoughts, my words, and ideas as I'm looking and thinking about a work of art, beginning very straightforwardly with what do you see? You can make some notes even if you're that inclined. What colors do you notice? Shapes, patterns, the people, their expressions, their personalities. You can describe what they remind you of. Perhaps they remind you of some aspect of yourself or someone that you know. Describe the mood or the personality of any of the young people in the artwork if you're compelled in that direction. And then use your senses to help you also think about some of the details: sight, sound, touch, even imagine the touch, the smell, even the taste. So those are just some questions to kind of get you warmed up and thinking and looking more imaginatively. Here again is Anaya with oranges, just for you to take it in, this incredible piece, to look slowly and carefully, to let your eyes move into the portrait as you take in the details. And this is the safety patrol again. Again, let your eyes be pulled in by the patterns on the fabric or by the background, perhaps a particular character in the portrait will compel you, will call to you. So as you're going to begin your writing, you might consider a few strategies to help you get started. And I would also suggest just beginning by writing a few sentences, 2 to 5 sentences. These are warm-ups. These aren't supposed to be perfectly written sentences. They don't even have to be complete sentences. You might think about going inside the artwork and writing about one or more of those characters. Perhaps you're writing even in the voice of one or more of the characters. You could connect the artwork to your life, to an experience that you have, a memory, to someone you know, or to a family member. Or perhaps you're compelled by a specific detail in the artwork, a color, a line, a shape, or one of the incredible patterns. So spend a few minutes just kind of collecting some sentences, and then those sentences can be used as we follow the pattern of the Pantoum poem. And you'll see that the Pantoum itself is a poem of repetition, which I think is really great because repetition is very much a part of Bisa Butler's work. As you notice, the way she uses the fabrics in which themselves have repeated shapes and forms. So you're going to begin your Pantoum with 4 original lines, and those can come from the sentences, the brainstorming that you've already done. As I've said, these lines don't have to be complete sentences, and the length of them, you may find them being rather long lines, or they could be shorter. Now, the second stanza begins the repetition. And you're going to repeat lines 2 and 4, and then lines 5 and 6 will give you the opportunity to expand on some of the ideas. The third stanza, you're going to repeat lines 5 and 6, and then you're going to expand on ideas in lines 7 and 8. And the fourth stanza, the final stanza, you're going to repeat lines 1, 3, 7, and 8 in this order: 7, 3, 8, 1. You'll notice that this is a 4-stanza poem, each stanza having 4 lines. Again, you're not constricted by the length. If you want to make your Pantoum 8 stanzas, the trick for you will be just following this braided pattern and using that to pull you through and into the poem. Let me show you my draft and speak a little bit about that. I was really called by this incredible portrait of Anaya with oranges. So here's my poem, Anaya with oranges. Anaya looks at you with bold, strong eyes, her arms stitched tight across her dress. Oranges twirling like wild suns shine brightly behind Anaya's one big self. Anaya's arms are stitched tight across her dress. Red flowers, yellow seeds, the details inspire and shimmer behind Anaya's one big self. Slices of the world rolling through her life. Red flowers, yellow seeds, the details inspire. Anaya is looking and taking you in, slices of the world rolling through her life. She has dreams and ideas spinning in her head. Anaya is looking and taking you in. Oranges twirl like wild suns. She has dreams and ideas spinning and spinning. Anaya looks at you with her bold, strong eyes. So just to make note of one fact that is kind of great about repetition, which is that you don't have to repeat things exactly as they are. And so you'll notice that I've broken the repetition in several instances. When I come to the line, I've changed some little thing up about it. You can see it in the first line and the last line. You can see it in she has ideas, dreams and ideas spinning and spinning. She has dreams and ideas spinning in her head. So again, just to note that you can repeat, but you can break your repetition. And sometimes it's kind of fun to do that. You can try it both ways and see what you think. When you finish your draft, read it over. Check to make sure you've used the most beautiful, the strongest, best words that you can. Read your poem a second time, and this time out loud. Really gives you a chance to hear the flow, the rhythm, and also a chance to hear if the words exactly work. You may hear something that seems a bit off, and if it does, this would be a chance for you to revise if you see or hear something that you want to change. Think of a title. I've just borrowed the title from the artwork, but you can come up with your own. And then finally, share your Pantoum Portrait Poem. Share it with a family or friends, or share it with us at the Katonah Museum, katonahmuseum.org, or our Facebook page. Thank you so much, and I hope you find this activity, this poetry writing activity, engaging. Take care, everyone.